This is terrible! No joke, this is even worse than a theatrical release. I was expecting this to be somewhat like Batman vs Superman, where the theatrical release, while flawed, could at the very least be redeemed with the extended director's cut, which would have been better. But in the case of Batman vs Superman, the extended cut was superior, but with Ghostbusters, the 2016 Paul Feig reboot, it's even worse. There are only two things I can say that are still good. First off, the chemistry between actresses like Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and Leslie Jones. That's all still well and good. That's still there. And Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy's characters, they actually get more development, more backstory. That's actually nice. It makes the characters feel more fleshed out, even though they're playing terrible characters. But everything else, ugh. While watching this, I realised something about Paul Feig's directing style. The guy loves to linger on a joke. Now, for those who know anything about humour, brevity is the lifeblood of wit. But Paul Feig, his approach seems to be, just keep showing it, just keep showing it, just keep showing it, and it's funny. You realise this when he just lingers on these annoying jokes for unnecessary long periods of time, and it doesn't make them any funny. If anything, it just makes them more annoying. A great example of this is that gag when the Gertrude Albridge ghost shows up and you got Holtzman just eating a chip really loud. That would have been much funnier if Melissa McCarthy's character just knocked the packet of Pringles out of her hands. Or in a reinserted joke, Melissa McCarthy, when she gets possessed by the ghost of the film's villain, Rowan, who's still terrible, he doesn't get much explaining, she starts oozing slime out of her nose and her ears, but it's just gross, and that turns into a really protracted and unnecessary parody of The Exorcist. Plus, as I said earlier, Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig's characters, Abby and Aaron, they do get more fleshing out, but so does Holtzman. What they did to her is even worse. Okay, believe it or not, Paul Feig originally wrote the character as being a lesbian. Now, Sony didn't like that. They wanted to have even more broad appeal, so they had that cut out. But in this cut, it's put back in, and it just boils a character who was just an annoying tomboy into a one-note lesbian joke, which never has a welcome to actually wear out, and is just painfully obvious. There is no wit or charm here like in the original. I was actually kind of hoping there would be a bit put back into it, but turns out I was asking for way too much. Hell, all the cut footage that was put back into the movie just paves the way for more of the same that was already in theatres, and the new characters that are added, they suck. Kristen Wiig's character, she has a boyfriend now, and he only exists to be the introduction to jokes, which are just underwhelming. The first joke is just Kristen Wiig trying to kiss up to this other physicist, and the other one is just Melissa McCarthy and Leslie Jones making jokes about what he's like in the bed, and then he's just gone for the rest of the movie. In fact, it even feels like there are still some scenes that were still cut. Like, there's a scene where all of a sudden it just cuts to Kristen Wiig in a bathrobe in a motel, but there's still no explanation of how she got there or why she's there. Did she break up with her boyfriend? We don't really know. Now, in my original review, I didn't touch on the identity politics surrounding the movie. But if you did get into it, you'd realise that the film isn't exactly very kind towards men. This cut of the movie, though, doubles down on that. Jokes about the male characters all being cruel, stupid, or just flat out incompetent, they're not only doubled down, but further enhanced, and there's even some gags involving certain male characters that really does just feel like an attempted jab at all the online critics, like myself, of the film when its first trailer came out, and you really just can't help but feel that the movie does have an agenda against men while watching this version. Last thing to say about this movie, its dance sequence. It is just pure cringe. Paul Feig actually wanted a song and dance sequence in the movie. Thankfully, Sony Pictures cut it from the theatrical release. For those who aren't aware, it was the sequence where Rowan freezes a bunch of people into a dancing pose. and Paul Feig put it back into this extended cut, and oh, no. It's the most cringe-inducing and hands down the worst gag in the entire film. It's terrible, trust me. The 2016 reboot of Ghostbusters was bad, but its extended cut is terrible. Trust me. It is bad. Really bad. Don't bother checking it out. You're better off saving your money for something else. Just ignore this extended cut. Check out the extended cut of Batman vs. Superman. That's actually worth checking out. And just let this extended cut fade into obscurity and just become another black mark on Paul Feig's career.